It is a long taxi ride on the water from Old Town Alexandria to PNC Park, but they made it. They brought a couple of Pirates fans along as well. The Nats and the Bucks. It's game 3 of this 4-game series, and we've got one of our aces, Patrick Corbin, back on the mound tonight. Good to see Corbin tonight. Strasburg was great last night. Max tomorrow, and Patrick pretty solid last time out against that good hitting Milwaukee Ball Club.
Yeah, 8 strikeouts against the Brewers, and it was all on the slider. So anytime Patrick Corbin has a start, that's what you talk about, the slider. But how do you get to the slider? You got to work ahead. So we're going to show you a bunch of strike threes, but it's about strike 1 and strike 2 to get this pitch. 118 of his 180 strikeouts on the slider this year. He has 248 swings and misses with the slider, so it's a deadly pitch. It seems like it's hard to pick up when you talk to opposing hitters. You can't see the rotation. They swing over the top. And look at Patrick Corbin, his last 11 starts.
Yeah, and the big thing about major league hitters, you throw it over the heart of the plate, they will kill you. So the key is out of zone pitches, getting swung on for strikes, and Patrick Corbin is one of the big-time masters of that in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, because this stuff is nasty. Don't forget about his fastball averaging 92, 93 miles an hour. The sinker, he gets the ground balls. The slider gets all the glory with the strikeouts, but he's a good pitcher with the fastball, too.
And Strasburg with his secondary pitches on that list as well. So, Anthony Rendon. Hey, our guys are glad they don't have to pitch to him. 7-game streak, 8 RBIs, 6 extra base hits during that week. 43 multi-hit games now. He was perfect last night, and yeah, he's in the lineup again tonight in the. So here we are in the North Shore. Great setting downtown across the Allegheny, and it's a beautiful night. Partly cloudy skies. Good night for a little action on the river, huh? 81 degrees, humidity at 64%.
If he falls off, he might come up with 3 arms.
Time for TD Ameritrade's the right call. Some people think that Trey Turner's got some jet skis of his own when he's on the bases, and he's getting on base a lot now. Anthony Rendon had a 27-game streak earlier. Trey Turner has one now, and he's hitting .333 during the streak, piling up the hits. The homers, the RBIs, and scoring. It's everything you could possibly ask from the guy hitting first in your lineup. Heck, it's everything you would ask from a guy hitting third or fourth in your lineup. And that's what Trey's doing. He's 4 for 9 in this series.
You remember last year when he hit second a lot, hit 6th and 7th down in the order. Now he's established himself as one of the most dynamic leadoff hitters in baseball.
Yeah, hardly ever takes a day off. So he's the guy in the #1 spot. And the Pirates taking the field at 7:05 for the first pitch. The Nats are 4th in the league in runs. They're 4th in batting average and 8th in homers. And Juan Soto, last 10 ball games, just raking. Batting average way up there, on base percentage almost at .450. 7 come 11 and 14 runs to go. With it as Drupal back in there tonight. Matt Adams, because the Nats are loading up against Joe Musgrove, the right-handed pitcher. He'll make his 26th start of the year. He's 8-11 with a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah, no decision last start against the Cubs on the 16th. 2 runs on 4 hits over 7 innings. 9 strikeouts, no walks last time out for Joe Musgrove. He threw 97 pitches. Pirates beat the Cubs in that one, 3-2.
In his career, 1 start, 1 relief outing against the Nats. The relief outing was years ago when he was with Houston.
The defense for the Pirates tonight behind Musgrove, Reynolds, Marte, Reyes. The outfield, Gonzalez, Osuna, left side, Newman, Bell, right side. Jacob Stallings had a nice night behind the plate last night. Threw out Trey Turner, showed a strong arm, blocked a lot of baseballs. Good young catcher.
Yeah, the Pirates have some good young talent. A couple of their regulars, Adam Frazier, Colin Moran, left-handed batters, not in the lineup tonight against Patrick Corbin. Josh Bell hasn't done much damage. I'm knocking on the table here. 2 singles, 2 for 8 in the series, and their star first baseman only 2 for his last 22. He's tied with Anthony Rendon for the 4th most RBIs in the league with 98. Several guys got to 100 and over 100 last night. Freddie Freeman, Cody Bellinger, and Eduardo Escobar all made it to the century mark last evening and runs batted in. Gary Cedersom's the crew chief, 31st year in the big leagues. Tom Woodring, first base. Marvin Hudson at second, and Adrian Johnson is at third.
Play
so
ball.
You can see Marte a bit to the right. Yeah, if the Pirates ever tell you they're coming over for dinner, don't have it ready on time. It'll be 7:08 first pitch here, and Trey Turner's up there swinging, and it's in the air to Marte, about 390 feet away, 1 out. Musgrove, 25-32 career. Start number 70. Trey Turner is 0 for 3 against him now, and Adam Eaton steps in 0 for 2. Adam in the month of August, 356. And that's through 3 full weeks here on the 21st. In the series, a couple of hits, a homer, 2 walks, hit by a pitch. Got to give the Pirates a lot of credit. They pitched the Nats very tough last night. After Chris Archer had to leave 1 inning into his outing, their bullpen shut down the Nats. And Adam Eaton heading for the river. Foul ball. Well out of here past the end of the upper deck. Now look at the homers and the RBIs lately. And then after that, he's going to lay a bunt down for a hit with 2 strikes. He's tried it before and it went foul, and that one was perfect.
Well, he did a nice job of staying in there. Watch him square around a little bit early, stay in there, get the bunt down, and then take off. So the Pirates in the shift. Adam Eaton beats the shift with a base hit bunt. So there goes the no-hitter. Adam Eaton with a base hit bunt. That was perfect.
I'm marveling at the timing of it right after he hit a ball 400 feet foul. Maybe the last thing the Pirates expected, and certainly with 2 strikes. So here's Rendon, who's on a 7-game streak, and Anthony has 4 hits here in Pittsburgh.
He's got half a oven mitt on. He didn't get it all the way on. Anthony faced Joe Musgrove last July 10th. He had an 0-0 cutter here at PNC Park in the bleachers to give the Nats a 2-0 lead. That was in the 5th inning. So he's got him in his book.
Fourth in batting, 4th in on-base percentage.
The more you throw over, the more Adam likes it. He likes to get dirty, so keep throwing over. There's your RBI leaders.
Long hold.
Obsessed with Adam Eaton right now. Adam's thinking, hey, I got 13 stolen bases, not 31.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Another 2-strike count.
Yeah, quick pitch there to get strike 2. You know, just one game. I want to do the Open like that with my suit. That dirty. Just run down there, dive in the dirt when it's wet, and just come on camera like that.
That could be arranged.
I want to do that. I miss that. I see that, and I miss that.
I will personally hose down the infield for you. At least part of it.
Let's do it. Run down there real quick. I'll dive on the warning track so I don't mess up the infield, and we'll do the open.
No, you'll do the open down there.
Okay.
I'll be watching.
I mean, that's mud because they just watered the infield, what, 10 minutes ago? $15.
Rendon to left. He waited on it, got a big piece of it, and it's caught right at the barrier by Brian Reynolds to the right of the 379 mark. That's a homer just about anywhere except the deep left field here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds went right back to the wall, so he stayed on the off-speed pitch, kind of one-hands it out there, and you're thinking 2-0 Nats. Reynolds goes back, and I think this was over the wall, or close. Look at him. He turned his back to home plate, had to open up his hips, found the baseball. I think that would have been off the wall.
Yeah, the wall's only 6 feet tall out there.
It's 6'4" at that one spot. What is that? It goes up that one spot.
Yeah, there's an aisle, there, a stairway that comes in there. For some reason, there's some extra padding at the bottom of every stairway there. Interesting. Here's Juan Soto. Eaton under the high throw.
Leave Adam alone.
Let Adam play.
That would have been a home run in 18 ballparks, I'm being told.
Yeah.
Not this one, so that's all that matters. Yeah, that little.
I guess if somebody comes tumbling down the stairs, they got a chance to stay in the stands if they make contact with that. Interesting. That ball gets away. Throw over after throw over. And Adam Eaton's going to stop at second wisely. So they've just given the Nats 90 feet for a runner in scoring position.
Adam Eaton's worn out. I think with one out, he tries for third here, but with 2 outs, he thought better of it and put the brakes on coming around second. So the 47th throw over goes down the right field line.
I don't know, maybe he wore his first baseman out too, because to me that was a catchable throw. It was low, but Josh Bell, it appeared to be catchable. We'll see who gets the error. Most probably the pitcher, because it was low, and that's the way they go. And a good take by Soto, 2-0. Pirates have the most errors in the league, 93 now. And Juan did not get a 2-0 fastball.
Change up 87. Right on the edge.
Last 5 starts, opponents hitting 300 against Musgrove. He's thrown too many pitches not on the edges and getting too much of the plate. And on that foul, it's 2-2.
I think the fact that Asdrubal Cabrera can drive in a run on deck, the veteran presence is getting Juan Soto some pitches here to hit that you, even in the first inning, might not see. He did get 2-0 off speed, 2-1 off speed, but they were both strikes.
Who gets on base the most? Christian Yelich, of course, Cody Bellinger, and then Juan Soto at 401. Jeff McNeil still in the batting race.
Oh, those are the big boys. Look at that.
Yeah, Rendon was at 400 when the game started.
20-year-old right in the middle. Third.
3-2 now. They got the breaking ball into the right side. It's Newman. Nats make some noise with Adam Eaton aboard. Failed to score in top of the first, and Patrick numbers, but he's slumping lately. And maybe we'll talk about that after his first at bat as far as some numbers. But they've got the lineup loaded up with right-handers tonight. A couple of switch hitters against Patrick Corbin. Reynolds a switcher. Josh Bell a switch hitter. So here we go. Corbin, 8th career start against the battling Buccos.
A tough no decision last start on the 16th against the Brewers. 1 run on 7 hits.
And the first one right out to left center where Soto was playing. 100 feet off the line, as ball clubs do in this spacious left field yard.
Struck out 8 Brewers, all on sliders. And I had a feeling they'd swing at the first pitch because they don't want to get to 2 strikes with Patrick Corbin and deal with the slider. They did the same thing at Steven Strasburg last night. Good defense tonight for the Nats. Soto, Robles, Eaton the outfield. Turner, Cabrera up the middle. Rendon, Adams at the corners, and Yan Gomes blocking sliders all night long.
Each pitcher gets an out on his first pitch of the night. Here's Brian Reynolds, who is hitting .323. Right-handed, just .265. 98 at bats, 3 of his homers, 10 of his RBIs. One of the really good-looking young players in the National League, and because of the way the Pirates have been going, maybe you haven't heard much about him. They got him in the McCutchen deal a year ago, January, when Andrew left here after so many great years and went to the Giants. Right side, nobody there. Cabrera was shaded up the middle, and Brian Reynolds does what you need to do against Corbin. Doesn't try to pull it.
Yeah, last night Starling Marte was a run-man wrecking crew. First the home run. That was in the bottom of the 8th, a 3-run shot to give him a 4-1 lead. And then Howie Kendrick in a 2-1 count, pinch hitting off the bench. You thought he hit a home run? At least a double, but Starling Marte ended the ball game on a spectacular catch. So the home run, then the catch. Quite a night in basically 1 inning.
And against Corbin, respectable numbers, 5 for 17. This one to Adams, not an easy pick, steps on the bag, throws high. They would have had to have a tag at the tail end of that, but Matt played it well near the bag. 2 down.
Marte ran the whole way. He's still standing there. Did Matt touch the base, and are they going to check this? Yeah, he touched the base. His foot's on it right there. Marte's still at first as I'm showing the replay. And he decided, I better run just in case he missed the bag.
Here's Josh Bell. Two for 8 in the series, 2 for 5 career. Both hits, though, against Corbin home runs. So for the right side, Bell just .229.
Seven homers from the right side, 24 from the left side.
And that's a good take on a pitch that Corbin gets a number of swings and misses from right-handed batters.
Yeah, the rock star in Patrick's arsenal is the slider, but he can't get to that without, the setup crew. And that's the fastball, getting ahead. If he gets to 2 strikes, then he's going to wipe you out with the slider. But working ahead with the fastball, occasionally he'll throw the slider in there for a strike early in the count. But getting to 2 strikes early is the key. Now, see, fastball, foul ball. Now you go to the wipeout slider. The fastball's the lineman, and the slider's the wide receiver, scoring all the touchdowns.
Great block to his left by Gomes. To keep a runner at second rather than third, if there might be another slider coming. Goes with the fastball, misses down and in, 2 on, 2 out.
And I thought Patrick's last start against the Brewers, he had the best slider he's had all year. He said the fastball was coming out nice and easy. He liked his slider a lot. But based on what we saw, his slider was filthy last start.
Jose Osuna. Started right field last night, third base tonight. In the series with a walk, he's 0 for 3. And he was geared up for something that wasn't sliding and diving or changing up on him.
That was a change-up first pitch, I think, or maybe the get-over slider.
Yeah, it looked like pretty straight change action there.
I'm guessing one more of those. What do you think?
I'm not a betting man, but I'll be a guessing man with you.
Yeah.
How quick of a hurry is Ian to end the inning? Does he show him a heater and then go back? We'll see. If you're reading the first 2 pitches, be hard not to triple up on the off speed. We'll move him back with the heater a bit.
Got a good one tonight, 94-95.
Two and two now and a bouncer. Mets underway at home against the Indians. Stroman. Marcus Stroman for the Mets. The Phillies have left-hander Drew Smyly at Boston. They just started. And the Braves have Julio Teheran against Miami and lefty Caleb Smith. And now they've lost another player, Brian McCann. More on that later. Braves are all beat up, but they won last night and they lead the Nats by 6. Well, he kept going down there. Finally got the strikeout. First of the ball game. 2 Pirates stranded. And we go top 2 with Asdrubal, Matt Adams, and Victor Robles. Vintage Corbin right there.
Everything tight in swing, but one of the things, just having that rapport and comfort, really key for the two working together.
Yeah, he's been great so far. 10 ball games, 11 for 32. 344 batting average and driving in runs on the average of 1 per game. Had the big night here Monday and drove in 5. Musgrove first inning, 16 pitches, 11 strikes. And he'll pick that one off. They had 3 infielders on that side.
Joe Musgrove, 6'5", 260, so you're not going to chop one over his head too often.
Yeah, originally drafted by Toronto.
I made peace with the heckler today.
Yeah.
My dad. I said, Dad, knock it off. Try and do a broadcast.
Well, you got him fooled now. Tomorrow night, Max.
Talked to him today. He is raring to go.
That's a loud sound on a high drive to deep center by Matt Adams. Marte and the Nats have pinned 2 outfielders up against the wall so far. Rendon a bit for his 28th and Adams his 21st.
Just 81 degrees right now. Does the temperature have anything to do with it? Anthony Rendon hit his well. Matt Adams maybe a little high, but you thought it had a chance the way balls have been flying out. The fans there are taking cover. They thought it was coming at him. Good pass by Matt.
Yeah, it's the coolest of the 3 nights here so far. And Victor Robles is going to try that part of the ballpark as well. That's a little shorter, and that's a quick top of the 2nd for Joe Musgrove. And the Nats bats quiet since the end of Monday night. Outs above average. It's based on catch probability and how he can get to balls that maybe some other center fielders cannot. Turns into some great numbers for him. And the Pirates haven't done much against lefties since July 1st. 2 of 12. And they're facing Corbin tonight. Patrick, first inning, 17 pitches, 10 strikes. Right fielder Pablo Reyes is first. Adams right there.
All right, 2020 pet calendars are on sale right now. So it's a 16-month calendar. It features your favorite Nats players and their pets. I'm told the Anibal Sanchez one down there is a rabbit, right? In his glove? Is that what that is? Proceeds benefit the Humane Rescue Alliance, nationals.com/pet calendar. I haven't seen one yet.
He pulled a rabbit out of his glove. Wow.
He did. He's a magician. On the mound, and does he take that out to start? No. He would never throw a rabbit.
There's another pitch and another ground ball. And another out via Rendon on Jacob Stallings.
Oh. Eric Gonzalez has got a swing here, doesn't he? 3-pitch inning.
He's nuts if he does.
That's better than an immaculate inning. Immaculate inning's 9 pitches.
Yeah, that's work. Yeah, pitcher Joe Musgrove had to jump out on deck quicker than he had anticipated. Gonzalez 1 for 2 against Corbin. Inside edge, he takes a strike. 14 for 72 in 27 games.
Oh, 66 on the curveball, I believe. It averages 68. That one was even slower.
You are downshifting on the Nissan pitchcast. Now it's 0-2. And the fastball looks about 98 after that, but he missed with it.
You should throw that more. If I'm gearing up for 95 and you throw a 66-mile-an-hour curveball, I mean, I don't think anyone's hitting that.
Yeah, and based on the number of times you could throw it, it's nothing you would ever expect.
Throw about 10 of those a game and just lock people up. I guess if you got such a good weapon in the slider, you'd kick yourself if one of those got hit. But as a hitter,
yeah,
that'd be tough to make contact on.
Trying to get a 1-2-3 here and let the pitcher lead off in the third is Patrick Corbin. Making his 180th career start tonight. And now Gonzalez is going to hang tough. 1K tonight, 181, fifth in the league in that department. Came in 7th in innings. Third most starts, 26 now. ERA top 10, 3.34. Notice a pattern?
I think he's going to pitch him in, Bob.
We've got more from PNC. I mean, we're in their park and they're just all over this thing. So most strikeouts in the league. Max is still third despite being out for several weeks. What, 3 weeks now? Strasburg, not a ton of strikeouts last night. There's one for Corbin. Steven had 6. Patrick has 2. And that's it for the Bucks in the second. And Musgrove will have to hit. Corbin in a moment will be up there after Yan Gomes.
All year long.
Yeah, making things look like strikes when they're not.
Slider man.
Yan Gomes on base 12 of his last 14 ball games. Started Monday night. He had a base hit, drew a walk. Musgrove, 23rd pitch. Good ratio, 16 strikes so far. Two good takes, 2-0. Probably a called strike on the edge. Yan Gomes' career a homer, 4 RBIs, 2 for 5 against Joe Musgrove. See if he gets a fastball here on 3-2. Doesn't want to walk the catcher in front of the pitcher. And Patrick Corbin can handle the bat. No score early.
There's no such thing as a 3-2 fastball anymore, ever.
Don't you know it?
Never. Not even to the 8th place hitter in front of the pitcher.
How about that?
Might get one here. I'm talking the original 3-2 pitch. Before you foul one off. Rarely a fastball.
Well, he misses by plenty, and Yan Gomes draws a walk. I mentioned that thing earlier. He's now on base 13 of his last 15 games. Catchers getting on base, not like a leadoff guy getting on base, but it does mean that Yan lately has done a lot of getting on base to turn over the lineup, at least when the pitcher might be coming up with 2 outs.
Well, if
it's a valuable stat.
You're seeing the ball if you're walking as a hitter. When you're striking out, you're not seeing it. So that means he's got a better approach. He's picking up pitches earlier, and he's making good decisions.
Corbin this year, 4 sacrifices. Somebody hollered two, and that's where they go, and the ball's into center field. Gomes gets up and goes to third. Stallings' throw was up and away to the shortstop Gonzalez, and the Nats will have first and third, nobody out.
I don't think 2-2-2 is a good decision here. Yeah, the bunt's a little firm and it's back to Musgrove, but his momentum's going toward home plate. So when you're screaming 2-2-2 as a catcher, you have to take into account that your pitcher's coming full speed towards you. Now he's got to stop, plant, and throw to second base all in one motion. You know, how often do pitchers practice that? Sprinting off the mound to get a bunt, spinning and throwing to second. That had disaster written all over it as soon as Stallings screamed 2-2-2.
Yeah, his first two errors of the year, Joe Musgrove. Trey Turner and Yan Gomes came right down the line with the ground ball. He'd like to stay in a rundown, but Corbin can't get to third. That ball was fielded right next to Yan Gomes, and that's the first out.
Yeah, with one out, you got to go here, but with nobody out, you probably want to go back to the bag. They throw across there, which is his only play. He might get Trey Turner, and if he does, it's second, third, one out. If they don't get Trey Turner, which was questionable there, it might have been bases loaded, nobody out.
So the last two both ruled fielder's choice. Corbin's bunt and then the error. Trey Turner has swung at 2 pitches tonight, seeing just 2. Now here's Adam Eaton, who bunted with 2 strikes for a base hit left side in the first inning. And he will rifle one into the right field corner. Corbin will score easily. Trey Turner coming around third, and Bob Henley will hold him as the throw just arrived at Josh Bell. The Nats are on the board, and Adam Eaton continues to be on fire. That's RBI number 40.
Spanky is locked in, isn't he? Look at the uniform. Let's admire that work first before we watch the double down the right field corner. So base hit, bunt first time up, double RBI second time up. And Reyes played that well, or Bob Henley, you know he was going to send the speedy Trey Turner. 21st double of the year for Adam.
Second and third, one out. Boy, how do you approach Anthony Rendon here? First base open, but Juan Soto on deck. Almost hit one out of the yard to left first time.
Base hit here is triple digits RBIs.
We're on the 100 watch here. He's behind in the count 0-1, and he's hitting .487 in that count. Come on. That means they get greedy and try to get him to 0-2. He's going to drop another hit out there. Turner home. Here comes Eaton right behind him, and it is 3-0, and it's the century mark for Anthony Rendon in runs batted in.
Hundo. Congratulations, Anthony Rendon, 100 RBIs. That is cool. Great read by Adam Eaton. Watch this. He sees it's going to drop, take off. And that's why Bob Henley sent him. Marte had to go to his right to get it. So 3-0, but how about 100 RBIs? Ties a career high. He's going to break that.
Yeah, did it 2 years ago when he had 25 homers. Last year, 24 and 92. Right now with 27 homers and an even 100. That is fantastic for Anthony Rendon.
Look how fired up he is. Every time we show him, he's smiling. Making jokes at first.
So now He's driven in Adam Eaton 26 times this year, and he's driven in Trey Turner 25 times. 51 of his 100 RBIs driving in the numbers 1 and 2, guys, and that tells you all you need to know about the table setting. The Riverboat wants a fly ball from Juan Soto.
I think that it's congratulating Anthony. Yeah, there it is.
Well, he keeps that up, he'll get decommissioned. Congratulating visiting players.
Hit the boat, Juan.
They got one shot before the boat's in foul territory.
Hit one in the ocean.
Soto bouncing ball to the right side, first time up. And he'll take it in there, 1-1. That's one hit through the first 2 innings, a bunt, and now 2 consecutive. Two and 1 to Soto, who did have a long bat and a full count when he hit that ground ball, ending the first inning. .737.
It's an airplane. He's hitting an airplane in a 2-1 count.
And he's not flying coach or economy.
That can't be right. He's not hitting .737 in a 2-1 count. There's no way. There's no way. Truck's telling me it is. There's just no way. Nobody's hitting .737 in any count. He's 14 for 19 in a 2-1 count. That's silly. Might be the best stat we've had all year.
Yeah, and the most hard to believe. Nice pickup. So the Braves and Mets scoreless early. Phillies trail by 1 at Boston in the second. And the Nats have busted on top here with 3 in the third at Pittsburgh. What a take by Soto, and that's his 79th walk of the year. Third most in the league. 2 on.
Spit on it, go to first. Line moving. Do we sit where we're sitting? I think so. Same seats. Everyone's in the same seats in the Nats dugout. We should do it too.
And the Nats giving Joe Musgrove a really long inning here. Some of it his undoing. He's made 2 throwing errors tonight, 1 in this inning. Has Jubal Cabrera hit a comebacker first time? Just to the right of the bag, and a ball extremely hard hit.
Like his Drubal's sure if that was foul or not. That was 2 runs. Probably can't tell from this angle, but it was sure close. Tom Woodring sold it, didn't he?
He was adamant.
Yep.
Shift on 1-1 to Cabrera. Nobody home at short. That ball down and in, and now he's got count leverage. And more trouble for Joe Musgrove, whose ERA is 6.67 over the last month. League hitting over 290 against him, and that's before tonight. He's also been giving up some home runs. About 2 a game, and that's outside 3-1.
Still trying to wrap my head around 100 RBIs on August 21st. A long way to go.
4 National Leaguers and 1 American Leaguer. Rafael Devers of Boston's at 101. And Asdrubal had a pitch up and trying to drive it. That'll fill it up.
What could that be? 130 maybe? End of the year, 120 something? 130 something?
Game number 126 tonight, so 36 remaining after this. That ball's well hit to center. Marte back. He's caught a couple back there, but not that one. See you later. Asdrubal Cabrera has 8 RBIs in this series, and the Nats lead 6-0.
Here comes the football team again. And now we dance. Remember, he got the silent treatment the other night. No silent treatment here. That ball was touched.
8th Nat to bat is Matt Adams, and he was the one who pinned Marte up against that wall last inning. So Asdrubal now, as a Nat, he's 12 for 34. In 11 games, he's driven in 13 runs. And once because of ineffectiveness and once because of injury. No starter before tonight for the Pirates had even entered the 3rd inning of this series, and it's not going at all well for Joe Musgrove.
What a find, huh? I mean, we knew Asdrubal the first time around, but he's been clutch. He came into this hitting 344 as a Nat. That average just went up, 1 for 2 tonight with a homer.
And Matt Adams cranks one to right, to his right. Reyes, 2 down.
So 13 RBI in 11 games with the Nats. How about that? And this one was pure to center field. Had a loud sound. I think everyone knew in the dugout. A couple wall scrapers so far tonight, and this one got over, and Starling Marte ain't catching that one.
Nats have hit 182 home runs now. Victor Robles hit a fly ball to Marte to end the 2nd inning. He's the 9th Nat to bat here in the 3rd.
It's interesting how you click with hitting coaches too. Cade Long locking in Asdrubal, looking over some old tape. Let's try this, let's try that, and it's working.
Yeah, nice report, Alex, earlier, and it's come to fruition here in Asdrubal's 2nd at bat. Not like it hadn't already. And in a sense, he's back home, even though he played 49 ball games, just part of one season for the Nats back in 14. 1-2. Robles to left. Reynolds is there. And a big third inning for the Nationals. First up, after Eaton drove in a run with a double, Anthony Rendon drives in 2, and he's at 100. Soto would walk, and then Cabrera straightaway center. Last night looks like an aberration now, doesn't it? 6-0. Rendon has 5 hits in this series in 10 at-bats. 100 RBIs now. Asdrubal Cabrera just going crazy. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. So the Nats National League ranks. Talking about the starters, Corbin trying to make it 51 tonight, 3.5 ERA, hitting under 240. The opponents, we know all about the strikeouts. They're piling up the innings. And the starters have won, from the decision standpoint, nearly 2 out of every 3 decisions. Dodgers have the best ERA and the best pitching staff numerically in the league, but I think when you're talking starters, we'll put our guys up against anybody as soon as Max gets back tomorrow. Joe Musgrove, 5 for 41 this year. He's a 130 career hitter. And Corbin gets an easy out to start off the third. First time through the order. Pirates on a base hit by Brian Reynolds the other way go 1 for 8 with a walk to Josh Bell. Kevin Newman line drive to left on the first pitch of Patrick Corbin's night. Beautiful night in the Berg, 81. Now down to a beautiful 78 degrees here.
Feels like fall a little bit.
It does.
Look at this setting. If you haven't been here, you need to make time sometime and come up and check this place out. It's one of the best in baseball.
And if you have seats in the lower bowl, maybe before the game or sometime during the game, you need to go up to the upper deck. You'll be right below where we are, and this is where you really get the dramatic view. Because from the lower bowl, you can't see the river. You can see downtown, but from up here, it's just unbelievable. 2-1. In fact, I had some Nats fans tell me before the game today they purposely bought upper deck tickets. They wanted to get the full view and the great experience here. And there are some great sight lines in this yard.
And you can yell at the broadcasters, too.
That's right.
Now this is, if not number one, right up there.
Right there you can see the walkway between the bleachers and the river. 2-2, 1 out.
My favorite story here is, it was like 3 years ago. I was walking across the Clemente Bridge. They were having a fireworks show after the game. Remember that?
Yeah.
They were setting up all the fireworks on the bridge, and the guy that was setting them up had a cigarette in his mouth. And I'm thinking to myself, I better get off this bridge. So who sets up fireworks smoking a cigarette? Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Speaking of fireworks, look at this production by Chip Winfield. Join us on August 30th for Fireworks Friday. Marlins in town, 7:05 start. Nationals.com/tickets. Do not smoke a cigarette while you're setting those things up on the Anacostia.
Either that or he's as quick as Trey Turner. He could get out of there if something would ignite. That is crazy. Brian Reynolds, the hitter. He has the only Pittsburgh hit. So this kid who they got as part of the McCutchen deal, he faces a great veteran pitcher, and all he does his first time up against him is stay on the ball and stroke a single the other way. That's the kind of hitter the Pirates are onto here with this young Brian Reynolds. They like him a lot.
65-mile-an-hour curveball to start this at bat.
Reynolds, 24, born in Baltimore, high school in Brentwood, Tennessee, in the Nashville area, went to Vanderbilt. Drove in 160 runs in his 3 years with the Commodores. 1-1, 2 outs. Drives it the other way again. Adam Eaton to the corner. Plenty of room and fair ground, and Patrick Corbin. That's how you put a 0 on the board after your boys give you 6. It'll be Gomes, Corbin, and then Trea Turner. The adventure. Go to Let's Go Places. An amazing place, this Pittsburgh, PA. If you've ever come in from the airport and then you come right out of the tunnel, the entire city is spread out right in front of you as you come across the bridge. The Golden Triangle, Heinz Field, just downstream from us. And here we go to the top of the 4th. Gomes, Corbin, and Turner. 56 pitches already for Joe Musgrove, the Pirates starter. That ball's ripped beyond the reach of Osuna. It'll get into the deep part of the left field corner. Yan Gomes in this series now has been on base 4 times. He's 2 for 5 with 2 walks.
He started the 3rd inning rally with a leadoff walk. Now he's starting the 4th inning rally with a leadoff double. Good swing. Hustling down the line. That ball missing that little part that sticks out there was the key to that double. Once it got down the corner, it was a sure thing.
Corbin dropped a bunt in front of home plate first time. It was picked up by Joe Musgrove. His catcher told him to throw it to second to try to get Gomes. Next thing you knew, the ball was in center field. It was 1st and 3rd, nobody out. He's going to bounce that one off the plate. Now they've got the runner hung up. Gomes went halfway and stopped, and they get him going back for a 1-6 bunt, fielder's choice.
Yeah, Yan Gomes just froze there. Looked like Musgrove was thinking about going to 3rd. If you get a big secondary, as soon as you see that thing bounce off the plate, you just put your head down and go to 3rd. He's got to throw it. They got to tag you. But once you stop in the middle, there's no percentage in getting out of that rundown.
Now Corbin has to run the bases. Yeah, that ball really bounced high and far off home plate. There's a bloop down the line. Trea Turner drops one in. Corbin puts on the skids beyond the second base bag, and Trea Turner on base now 28 games in a row. He sits safely in 25 of those. And if you're wondering, last time he hit into a fielder's choice, that does not count toward a game on base. Now it does with a base hit.
Baseball has some weird rules, doesn't it? He was on base, he scored a run, but it doesn't count as being on base.
That is correct.
I saw him on base, Bob.
I know you did. Look at the stat sheet.
I know. I'm just saying.
It
took me a while as a player before I realized a fielder's choice in reaching by a fielder's choice doesn't raise your on base percentage.
Right.
I'm standing here. I'm on base. It's the very definition of being on base. I'm standing here on the base.
Well, and I don't know if they do it. Maybe every organization during spring training should have a meeting with some of the young guys and just not go through the whole thing. You'd confuse the heck out of everybody. Yeah. But maybe some of the things that players may not realize about how certain plays get scored and all that, just to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. You can play a game your whole life and not know all the rules.
That's true, because you're just playing to win.
Yeah. You're worried about grinding out at bats, putting the bat on the ball.
These guys are not having any fun. Loosen up down there a little bit.
One and two to Adam. A bunt and a double. Now he's going to hit one out to center, not deep at all, Marte, and the runners will freeze. But they're at first and second, and they'll have to pitch to Anthony Rendon again.
All right, Tuesday, August 27th, Wednesday, August 28th, 7:05 starts. O's are coming to town, so it's the Beltway Series presented by Innova. Go to nationals.com/tickets. Hey, that's the bridge where the guy was smoking throat rockets, setting up the fireworks.
That is too funny.
I wonder if he's still alive.
His remains could be in Paducah by now. Rendon 1 for 2. The things you see when you travel.
Yeah. I think I said something to him like, hey. And he just went, eh.
He just said, shut up and get off my bridge.
Took another rip off the lung dart and kept doing it.
This is the time of the night when it's so beautiful here. Buildings still have a bit of a glow from the setting sun. The lights are taking effect here.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and I really like the way the scoreboard looks all lit up with 6 runs. Hey, maybe more. Who knows? Rendon. 2-run single last time. He's going to rip another base hit. The lead runner is Corbin. They're not going to send him. Bob Henley isn't. Up by 6 with 2 outs. Bases loaded for Juan Soto. And Anthony Rendon, who last night was 3 for 3, is now 2 for 3 here.
Look at the squint after he hits the ball. I was talking to some of the Pirates coaches in batting practice yesterday, and they were saying that he might be the best right-handed hitter in baseball, and I had to agree.
And you know what? Don't sleep on Anthony Rendon for the batting title.
Yeah.
With this surge he's on, he's single digits now behind Yelich and McNeil, who are at the top of the league. There was a time when Anthony was 15, 20 points behind, but that margin is shrinking on a daily basis. Soto up first, pitch swinging.
Juan's getting to that pull mode thing. He's best when he's thinking the other way. Maybe this ballpark and that short porch in right field is staring him right in the eye, and he's thinking, I want to hit one there.
Yeah, it'll tease you. We talked about the 21-foot wall in right field. Tribute to Roberto Clemente. The deep dimensions in left and left center pay tribute to a certain extent to old Forbes Field over by the University of Pittsburgh. They used to store the batting cage on the field in deep left center. Flagpole was out there, and there's the north side notch right there at 410. But Forbes Field had a big brick wall with ivy on it, and it was really high and really deep to that part of that old yard. That's 2 stadiums ago for the Pirates. Bill Mazeroski hit his famous walk-off homer against the Yankees over that brick wall. 1960. 0-2 to Soto, and he'll roll it over to the right side. Bell hitting the pitcher Musgrove, and that's it for the Nats. Couple of hits, 3 stranded in game. Nats. Little did we know we would play 9 more innings before the Pirates would score in the top of the 18th and beat Ali Perez and the Nats 2-1. Max went 7 innings that day. 1 run on 6 hits, got a no decision, and the Pirates won it. Live fearless with the card most accepted by top doctors. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. 5 hours and 48 minutes. That's only 8 minutes longer than the game the Nats had with the Brewers this past Saturday night.
That's the only time I was mad at Murph when he was a Nat.
And it was the only time in my baseball career that I had to go to a whole nother set of pages in the scorebook, because that was 18. No book has 18 innings. That was nuts. Crazy day, and the Pirates beat the Nats. July 17th of 16. Well, you can't shut out the Yankees. 209 straight games. Third longest streak in Major League history. Clayton Kershaw gave all the credit to his teammates last night. They gave him a ton of run support, and he won his 16th of the year. And there's the sprained left knee suffered by Brian McCann, and he's the latest Brave to go on the injured list. The Yankees in 1931 to 1933 went 308 games without being shut out. That's the all-time record. And the 78-79 Brewers went 212 games without being shut out. Here's Marte, bottom of the fourth. Ground ball, Matt Adams first time. Corbin working ahead, it's 0-2. Corbin for 3 innings, 13 pitches per, 25 strikes. That 13 pitches per inning was something that was brought up last night, because that's what Steven Strasburg was averaging over his 7 innings last night, and came out of the ball game, and the bullpen couldn't get it done, and the Nats lost.
Babe Ruth hit .714 at Forbes Field on May 25th, 1935. .714, last home run.
Oh, look at the good pick and a nice hands by Adams. Corbin beating Marte to the bag.
Yeah, George Will just texted me that. I looked it up. 7:14 at Forbes Field on May 25th, 1935. Nice play.
Did you ask George what he wrote about that game after witnessing that?
Oh, taking shots at George Will. That's not nice. It's watching the game.
George knows his baseball. And the reason Babe Ruth hit that homer at Forbes Field, he was playing for the Boston Braves for the last 92 games of his, actually the last 28 games, 92 plate appearances. In his major league career, he had 6 homers that year for the Boston Braves to get him to 714. That ball was hit a ton the other way by Josh Bell. Way foul. So the Babe started with the Red Sox all those years with the Yankees, and he finished in Boston, but they were the National League team. 1-2 with 1 out to Josh Bell. Look at that fastball. Corbin threw a fastball inside to Marte a moment ago to get a strike, and the Nissan pitchcast will show a strikeout of Bell.
Yeah, last start against the Brewers, 8 strikeouts, all with sliders. Patrick has a strikeout of Eric Gonzalez with the changeup, and now a strikeout of Josh Bell with the fastball tonight. So his 3 strikeouts, only 1 with the slider so far.
Well, they had the scouting report on him, and he wrinkles them up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's an off-speed pitch that Osuna waited for, and Juan Soto, he'll grab it over the top of that 6-foot wall. Got back there just in time to make his leap, and he continues his brilliant play in left field.
Remember when he didn't go back on the ball very well? He knew exactly where he was. 2 looks to the fence, jumps, and robs a home run. What a play. Deep in left field this year because he comes in on the ball better than he goes back. So the Nats feeling was like, let's play him deep. He's been creeping up because he has more confidence going back. It's the daily work that they do before the game. And this is a perfect example. Check the fence once, check the fence twice. I'm right by it, jump up, rob a home run. Remember, he only played a handful of games in left field as a minor leaguer, so he's been learning at the highest level a new position, and we're watching him become really good out there.
Pretty good in the batter's box, this guy. 5th inning underway, low to Cabrera. Comebacker first time, and then he went about 400 feet farther than that Second time, straightaway center. 1-1 from Joe Musgrove, who threw 69 pitches in the first 4 innings.
You see the tater again? So 2 men on, 1 out, and he did that. And then he does this. I mean, if you watch the Nats enough, you'll learn how to dance.
He's going to launch that one foul.
And how not to dance. But it's a judge-free zone. Zim told us right away, judge-free zone.
Yeah. Adams and Robles to follow here in the 5th. Asdrubal hanging in there. Tough guy to strike out.
We're trying to get something together where we get Gerardo Parra and maybe Anibal Sanchez to sit down and with scorecards grade everybody's dances 1 through 10.
Like show them some video and have them score?
Well, we'll be on camera, do an interview and say, okay, rate the dancers if they want to do it.
Yeah.
We're kind of throwing it around right now. I think everyone at home would love it.
Yeah. Get those two and Carrie Ananaba. I'll be watching.
Yes. Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Nats.
Strike 3 call on the outside edge.
If the Nats win the World Series, I wouldn't be surprised if they asked Gerardo Parra to be on the show. You get all that exposure. That's when David Ross went on, right?
Yeah.
When the Cubs won the World Series. Yeah. If they're thinking right, they'll ask that guy to be on Dancing with the Stars.
And what would the first song be that he would dance to?
I don't know. Baby Shark?
Yeah. Right off the end of Matt Adams' bat. Osuna, 2 down. Next up, Robles.
Come out dressed like a shark. I'd watch. I know everybody.
We have ideas on the show. We have ideas.
Everybody at home would watch.
Robles, a fly ball to center, 1 to left. Well, they're working him on that inner edge, aren't they? 1-2 now. That strikeout called on Cabrera was Musgrove's first of the night. And he came in with 124 Ks in 137 innings this year. It's a good take, 2-2.
Good rip.
Two again. This one up the middle, rolled right over the left side of the mound and on the run. That's a good play by Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop. Nats go 1-2-3. Halfway through game 3, it's all Washington. Got a lot of action going in this one. 6-0 Nats halfway through. Corbin back to work. Rendon 100. Adam Eaton another busy night with the bat and on the bases. And now Patrick Corbin 4 shutout innings on 1 hit. Facing Pablo Reyes here. We'll have another glance at our game summary. And Asdrubal has come back tonight. 5 RBIs Monday, 3 more tonight. Corbin using that fastball against these right-handers here in the middle of the game effectively. Great ratio. 6, 7, 8 for the Pirates here. Up the middle, but Cabrera's there.
No base hits up the middle anymore ever. There's always someone standing right behind the pitcher. All right, Top Golf Crush is taking over Nats Park from August 22nd through the 25th. Teed up from the third baseline of Nats Park and take aim at humongous targets on the field. Group discounts are available. Book your tee time today at nationals.com/topgolf.
Is that a whole gallon of ice cream they were loading up there? Wow. Oh, that was a bucket of wings. Never mind.
A bucket of wings?
Evidently, I saw him take a
cannonball. Cannonball coming. Here he goes. Oh, the pitch got in the way.
I think there was a time when it was not allowed to show anyone taking an alcoholic drink on television. They could hold it, just couldn't show them drinking it. 2-0. That ball slammed up the middle. That's how you have to hit one against the shift. So hard nobody can get to it, and Jacob Stallings has his second hit of the series.
Someone's supposed to be standing there.
Here's Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop, called out on strikes first time. Base hit to right.
That's good hitting right there. Eric Gonzalez looking over there saying nobody's playing there. I'm going to try to inside out something that way. I think Melky Cabrera is about to hit for the Pirates.
So that's going to be it for Joe Musgrove. They'll get through 5. Pirates working their bullpen. That is right-hander newly added to their bullpen today, Dario Agrazal, 24 years of age, from Panama, which I believe is Manny Sanguillen's native country, the great Pirate catcher.
We're hitting .255 right-handed this year, switch hitter.
Melky career against Corbin, couple of home runs, 2 for 7, both solos. And Patrick with the ground ball in mind, keeping the ball down. Off speed, and that's why Cabrera was so far out ahead.
Yeah, the slider, if you put it into play in this situation, is usually a ground ball to Anthony. So if you're thinking double play here, it would start with Rendon. Usually gets a lot of ground balls on the Patrick Corbin start because of that slider into righties.
This one flared to right, but Adam Eaton is on the way. Big second out. Kevin Newman, the hitter. Line drive to left, ground ball to short, 0 for 2, and in the series, Newman still looking for his first knock, and Corbin just misses.
Consistent. Why is that? Well, I think with Corbin, from what we've seen, you could know what's coming and still not hit it. You know you're getting a slider somewhere in the sequence, usually with 2 strikes.
Hot shot, one hop to Turner and Trey. The short way to Cabrera. Patrick Corbin keeps on taking care of business. A 3-hitter through 5, and he leads by game tomorrow night. Look who's back. Max, April 14th against the Pirates. 3 earned runs in 8 innings. Got a no decision, struck out 7. Hey, whatever the numbers, whatever uniform he's wearing, Max is back tomorrow night. That is huge for the Nats. He'll take on Steven Brault. We'll get you going at 6:30. Dan and Bo with Nats Extra on Masson tomorrow night.
It fires me up.
And FP, I'm expecting you and Dave Jagler to do very well. And through the weekend in Chicago, some of you might know I'm heading back to D.C. after the game tonight. Debbie Carpenter having some surgery Friday morning. I'll be with her throughout the weekend and hope to rejoin all of us here on Masson next week, but Dave will step in and do his usual great job, and you guys have fun with Max tomorrow night.
Thoughts and prayers are with you, and especially Mrs. C.
She's in a good place. She's ready, and surgery Friday morning, and we appreciate it. All the folks up at Washington Hospital Center have been fantastic for the last month or so, and my thanks to the Nats and to Masson, letting us take care of our business. Miss you guys.
Baseball's just a game, family first, man.
Yes, sir. Jiffy Lube, it's a pitching change. This is Dario Agrazal. Choose a winning team for your vehicle at Jiffy Lube. Expanded services for your convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com. 24-year-old from Agua Dulce, Panama. And he throws a strike to Gomes.
It's Sweetwater, Panama.
Ah.
Or Candy Water. I'm going with Sweetwater. That might be the coolest town that anybody's been from all year. Agua Dulce. I think that's right on the canal.
The great pirate Manny Sanguillen from Colon, Panama.
That place doesn't stink.
To his left, sending Josh Belden to foul ground with the throw. Osuna, one down here in the 6th. So the Nats box score. 3 of their 7 hits, all 6 of their runs bunched into the third inning when Eaton drove in a run with a double. Rendon 2 with a single to get to 100. Then he's added another. And then the big blow after Tony's single, the 3-run homer by Asdrubal Cabrera. Manny Sanguillen spent his entire career from 1967 to 1980 with the Pirates. One of the great catchers ever. And he was one of the first real athletic guys behind the plate, just moving around, jumping around, loved to throw the ball all over the diamond. Manny Sanguillen is 75. They've got great tradition here in Pittsburgh. They've had some of the most colorful players in the history of the game play here. Patrick Corbin, a couple of fielder's choice bunts, and he rips away. That was scouting report on him. That's where Marte was playing. 2 down here in the 6th. Back up to Trey Turner, who's made things happen quickly in his 3 ABs tonight. Number 21, the best of them all here. There's Manny. Goodness gracious, he's here. That is Manny Sanguillen. How about that?
I'll be darned. You're talking about him. You didn't know he was here, did you?
No, I had no idea.
Crazy.
He's from Panama, like this young pitcher is. And there he is.
From left field right now. That's so cool.
He was so fun to watch play behind the plate.
You can tell by the smile on his face, his team's down 6-0, how much he loves baseball. It's like a perma grin because he's at the yard.
Unbelievable that Manny Sanguillen is here. That is too crazy. 2-2.
Talk about somebody else. Maybe he's here too.
Well, Bill Mazeroski Way is a street right outside. There was a lot of debate over the years about Bill Mazeroski. Was he a Hall of Famer? Was he not a Hall of Famer? He finally made it mainly because of his defense. He was just one of the great second basemen of all time. He hit enough to be a Hall of Fame caliber player, but it's like people didn't want to put somebody in just because they were great defensively and a good hitter. Trey Turner trying to leg one out, and that's it for the Nats in the top of the 6th.
T-U-D-E-N-T.
S-T-O-O.
S-K-O-O-L.
Oh, boy. Patrick Corbin is trying to go at least 6 innings for the 19th time this year. Brian Reynolds leads off, slams one to right, but Adam Eaton is there. And at this stage of a ball game, what's better than a 1-pitch out to start an inning? Marte next.
All right. Number 21, the greatest Pirate of all. Do we have any footage of him running? Because I think his gait is a lot like Victor Robles.
I think that's his 3,000th hit.
There he is. Those ones where he's screaming around second, coming into third, and his helmet comes off. Victor reminds me of Roberto when he does that.
Yeah. And Roberto Clemente got that hit at Three Rivers Stadium, which was imploded just downstream from us here. And he started his career at Forbes Field. The great number 21, the height of the fence in right field in his tribute. Had a pitcher back in the 60s and 70s, a lefty named Bob Veal, who I thought never got the credit he deserved. He was right up there with that generation of pitchers with Gibson and Juan Marichal, Drysdale, Koufax. By the way, Clayton Kershaw passed Sandy Koufax in career wins last night. Quite an accomplishment for him. But they've had some great players in Pittsburgh. How hard is it to win a World Series? In the entire history of the Pirates, they've done it 5 times. And they've won just 7 pennants. So they've won 5 of the 7 times they've been. But the last time was the We Are Family Bucks with Willie Stargell on that group back in '79. There they are, the 5 World Series flags painted, and some goofy broadcaster up there.
Look, I'm on TV.
Fastball on 3-2, and it was up to Marte.
All right, am I off on this?
There he is. Look at him.
The helmet coming off, the violence in his gait, the speed, but not effortless like Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Trey looks like he's floating. Victor puts a lot of effort into how fast he is.
Yeah, Clemente always looked like he was battling a headwind, but he was really fast. And his throws from right field. Oh my gosh.
Compare those two.
I mean, those guys from the Caribbean, Clemente and others of his time, they were the pioneers from that part of the baseball world to make it to the big leagues and amaze us with what they could do. They were all aggressive hitters. They loved to run, loved to play the game. And there was a saying back then, you don't walk your way off the island, you swing your way to the major leagues. Watch this one.
Statcast that. Can you Statcast video from?
I'm sure they could find a way. 0-2 to Josh Bell, who has walked and struck out. Corbin would love a grounder here. Keeping that slider down. Pretty good take by Josh. And the count's 1-2. But I think it's important for us as broadcasters to let people know about these guys from 2-3 generations ago now who were such great players, because they can get lost in the sands of time if we don't keep these memories alive of these guys who really played the game as well as anybody ever has. 2-2. Never to be forgotten in this town. Won 4 batting titles, 12 Gold Gloves. Ground ball. Turner, he's got time. 4-6-3. Patrick Corbin now at least 6 innings for the 19th time in 26 starts. Well, they had number 21, and we'll keep an eye on number 16 over the years to come. What an unbelievable young talent Victor Robles is. Here we go, top 7. Eaton, Rendon, Soto. 13 pitches, 8 strikes so far for Dario Agrizal. And he throws a nasty hook to Adam Eaton. That's seeing this young guy for the first time. Fastball off to the left.
He's hitting nasty pitches, foul. That was a good slider down and in. He just wastes it by another pitch.
On a pitch away, Eaton to center. Marte, 1 out, top 7.
All right, 3rd inning, triple digits. Massage one to center field. Just flip it out there. Great read by Adam Eaton to cross the plate for RBI number 100 for Anthony Rendon. There it is. Freddie Freeman has 102. Anthony with 100. Escobar Bellinger also triple digits. I mean, you could talk about him for the MVP race. He would have had to hit some astronomical number, 340 maybe, 350. Because there's going to be a few guys with 50 home runs, and that's hard to beat.
That is correct. Marte toward the gap.
Definitely the Nats MVP.
And you always wonder, because of what the award is called, FP, how closely to the team's success would a player's voting be tied to?
Well,
you know, one of those teams falls out of the race like Milwaukee.
The Dodgers aren't falling out.
No, I know about the Dodgers, but if Milwaukee falls out, does that hurt Christian Yelich? That's up to the voters to decide, and it can be a complicated thing.
Yeah, it's up to September too.
That's a good call. We remember what's freshest in our minds when it comes to pennant race baseball and how guys excel in that last month.
Yelich hit for the cycle twice in September last year, while the Brewers overtook the Central and won the Central.
Yeah.
So boom, MVP. So that's why I think MVPs are won in the month of September, when the games mean the most, and you're in a pennant race. Unless, you know, Cody Bellinger just hits 55 home runs, and I mean, it's his right now.
He's the best player on the best team.
We're lucky to see him play every day.
I hope we're that lucky for many years to come. Soto 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored tonight. And this kid Agrazal has come out retired, 6 consecutive. Here's Patrick Corbin's first pitch, bottom 7, tailing away. What a clean night for him. Hitting a walk in the first, nothing until 2 singles in the 5th. They got Melky, Cabrera, and Newman to quell that rally. And last inning, he walked a man with 1 out that got the double play ball. So 73 pitches through 6 innings, closer to 12 pitches per inning than the 13 before that. That's getting some kind of starting pitching in this series the last 2 nights. Yeah, there's a guy up the middle. His name's Cabrera. 1 out. Ground ball outs keep on coming. But when it's a strikeout, and Patrick's had 3 of those tonight, your Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families with a donation of $50 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher.
Think he'll sleep tonight?
He needs his rest.
He's still ready.
By the way, Patrick Corbin, 11 ground ball outs now.
Just want to pitch is what he said to me today.
So the Pirates bullpen, some new names today. And they happened late in the day.
They did. They happened after we got to the ballpark.
Parker Markle, the pitcher you just saw. And here's Adam Eaton. 2 down.
All right, you know the drill. Come to the ballpark, 12 and under, eat free. If you're a member of the Junior Nats Kids Club, you eat free every game. So sign up today. Go to nationals.com/kids eat free. Get a hot dog, chips, applesauce, soda, water. It's going to be great.
He looks thoughtful, doesn't he? 2 outs, and it's Corbin against Stallings.
Have the Nats ever had a better 1-2-3 if they make it to October for that 5-game first series?
With all due respect to the ones who came before, the answer is no.
Right.
Line drive, Rendon. Now Patrick Corbin has gone 7 innings for the 10th time this year. Should have plenty of bullets left.
Struble with Tater number 2 as a National. Lexus is going to experience amazing and put some numbers all over it. That's going for the bridge. Whew. I got worried there for a second. 416 feet. And then dancing with the Nats. I enjoy this every time. You know, sometimes when a team has a thing, it gets old. This is great. I mean, every single time these guys do it, you never know what's coming. Ali's had a few nights off, which is good for his back and legs.
He's been carrying the ball club.
He's been carrying the club in the dugout.
Literally. I mean, come on. We have a pitching change, and it's Parker Markell, 28-year-old righty from Newport Beach, California. 3rd appearance with the Pirates. Recently grabbed off the waiver wire after he appeared in 5 games with Seattle. So choose a winning team for your vehicle at Jiffy Lube. Expanded services for your convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com with our pitching change. Parker Markell.
Yeah, 28 years old, 6'4", 220. Look at the end of his delivery and tell me it doesn't remind you of Lucas Giolito. Fastball slider. By the way, he threw a 4-hit shutout today.
He had 12 punchies for Lucas today, huh?
Watch the end.
Yeah.
Maybe a little. With the elbows and the legs going everywhere.
New catcher, Elias Diaz. So Jacob Stallings double switched out of the game. Diaz will be batting 9th, which will put him up 2nd in the bottom of the 8th. This one to left off the bat of Asdrubal, and Bryant Reynolds is right there. For 3, Matt Adams tonight. By the way, Asdrubal Cabrera, who just made the out, the only Nat who ever has faced Markell. 0 for 2 against him now. Matt almost homered in the 1st inning. He pinned Marte up against that center field wall.
This might be Matt's last chance to hit one in the water. Pirates have a lefty going tomorrow. Not that he's not going to start.
High drive, right center. Wet or dry. It's off the wall, and that's not bad. Adams checks in with a 1-out double, his first base hit of the night here in the 8th inning. I think you made a good point earlier. Ball's not carrying tonight like it did the first 2 games of this series.
Well, it's cooler when the air's warmer and it's more humid. The ball's going to fly. Big thunderstorm rolled through here after the game, and Big City rolling through here. He thought he had one. You see him running there at the bottom of the screen. He'll take the double. He's hit the ball hard 3 of his 4 times tonight. 14th double of the year.
Yeah, that he has. The fly ball in the 2nd, the line drive to right in the 3rd, and here's Victor Robles trying to salvage a 1 for 4 tonight. Patrick Corbin, by the way, just had an 11-pitch seventh inning. Through 7, he's at 82 pitches, 54 strikes. Only activity in the Nats bullpen are a bunch of guys watching a ball game.
Yes.
Victor couldn't stop, and it's 1-1. Looked like Gary Cederstrom was smiling from something, Victor said. Nissan on a sizzling fastball.
Yeah, paint too. Victor has a way of turning a night around from an 0 for 3 into a 1 for 4. He's done it a bunch this year, which is impressive for a young player.
It's a front door breaking ball, and he just sat on that pitch, as they say.
Oh, he literally sat on that pitch.
Yeah. What kind of music video could you put together from him and inside pitches this year? It would have to be set to some sort of ballet music or something crazy.
He's going to get hit because he leans a lot into the pitch. You just hope he keeps his hands out of there, you know?
Yes.
Kind of drifts toward the plate. He doesn't dive. It's not real violent. He just kind of drifts right there toward the plate. Good at that.
He'll take his base on balls. 2 on, 1 out. And with more on Victor, here's Alex.
Just adding on to what FP was talking about, speaking with Kevin Long earlier today, he said for a young player to be able to forget an at-bat, let it go the way that Robles does, he's just really good at it. He believes no matter what's happening, the next at-bat is the most important one in the game.
And that's not a small thing, and that's not an easy thing to do. Some guys never learn that. An 0 for 2 turns into an 0 for 4 every night. Or an 0 for 4 turns into an 0 for 10. And to be able to just throw it away, flush it, and take every at-bat, you know, in and of itself is not an easy thing to learn, especially for a young player. You get so frustrated. You get here, you work so hard every day. All these guys do. And you go up there and you fail. Okay, 0 for 1. Then you look silly the next time, and you're 0 for 2. And you're still worried about the last one. That turns into an 0 for 4. But if you can compartmentalize every at-bat, that's a hard thing to learn. It really is.
Yan Gomes, a good start to his evening. Walked in the 3rd, doubled in the 4th. Patrick Corbin about to get his 4th at bat of the night. That's always a great thing when you can say that about a starter. Two and 1. Yan Gomes, 26 RBIs on the year. Pretty good fastball to the inside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Newman trying to keep Adams close at second. Robles behind him.
Some add-ons here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
That ball is roasted to left center. Yan Gomes' second extra base hit of the night. Here comes Adams. Robles right behind him. Add-ons indeed. And the Nats lead 8-0. That's a pretty loud night for your number 8 hitter.
Yeah, 103-mile-an-hour double is second of the night. So Yan Gomes now 2 for 3. A couple of RBI, a walk in there. So a nice night for Gomes. Yeah, Victor almost caught Big City. He could have moonwalked home from 30 so fast on this one. So the boys laying it on the Pirates again here tonight, 8-0.
Here's Patrick Corbin. He'll be swinging away. And last time up, he put a good swing on the ball, lining out to center field.
4 at-bats for Patrick Corbin's always a good thing. Eight runs tonight, and 8 different Nats have scored. How about that?
They have been an equal opportunity offense for quite a while here. That ball to right center by Patrick Corbin. That'll be his 3rd RBI of the year, the 22nd of his big league career, and he puts himself and his team up 9-0.
And all 9 Nats have scored a run. Trey Turner scored 1 run. Adam Eaton, Rendon, Soto, Cabrera, Adams, Robles, and now Yan Gomes scores a run. Patrick Corbin scored 1 earlier. So 9-0, and every single Nat in the lineup has scored 1 run. That's got to be some sort of crazy record, right?
Yeah, they almost had the whole team score during 1 inning recently on the homestand. So Patrick Corbin, he's hit the ball hard twice tonight.
Yeah, last night they ran the ball, I thought, too much. They were grinding it out. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
You're
Tonight,
just dying to go back to Heinz Field, aren't you?
Tonight they decided to throw the ball a little bit more. Run and shoot offense. Run pass option.
Here's Trey Turner, 1 for 4 tonight. He's extended his on-base streak to 28 ball games. Wearing out the gaps in this inning. Adams right center. Gomes left center. Corbin right center.
Went to Heinz Fields for the first time a couple years ago to watch the Steelers play. They came out of the locker room and they started waving the towels, and the person in front of me hit me right in the eye with it, and I couldn't see the whole first quarter.
He knew you were from Washington.
Smoked me. This is great. This is great. Oh, I can't see.
Well, the Nats are back at it again tonight. 0-2 to Turner. That's a front door breaking ball, hammered to third and picked off by Osuna. 2 down.
Some hard hit pelotas this inning.
Yeah, baseballs too. I got you. What you said is probably what Manny Sanguillen just said out by his barbecue place out there. He's the Boog Powell of the Pirates, evidently, with the barbecue.
He needs to bring us some up here.
Yeah.
Let's go, Manny.
Manny, que pasa? Let's go.
Free airtime. Okay.
2 for 4, Adam Eaton tonight with an RBI double. He lined out hard last time.
488 on the first pitch. I mean, these are gaudy numbers. We're just sneaking over the bug there in the bottom right. Still, you can't beat 737 and a 2-1 count for Juan Soto. I'm going to remember that the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's crazy. Francisco Liriano one of their 7 pitchers Monday night.
You can't hit 737 in softball in a 2-1 count. You can't. Probably never get to too many 2-1 counts in softball, though, do you?
I don't know. Slow pitch. If the umpire's given the back shoulder strike, you better not get to 2 strikes.
Yeah, I meant slow pitch.
You could be really embarrassed. 3-0.
No green light here, up by 9. I don't think.
Two on, 2 out, and another at bat with men on for Anthony Rendon. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 homers hit by the Nats. This year, Lexus experienced amazing, and we're running out of time because when Asdrubal went deep, and Anthony's done it 27 times, the Nats are now up to 182 home runs on the year. Rough inning for Parker Markell here. No. 2-0.
Yep, 333, that's good.
Not biting on the low breaking ball.
Oh, all right. Guys are having too much fun down there with this. 500 and a 3-0 count. I don't think he swings very much. 3-0. 2 for 4, they're telling me.
4-pitch walk and the bases are loaded. Eighth, or rather ninth Nat to bat now will be Juan Soto. Slow walk by Clint Hurdle. It'll be a long walk back for Markell. Then be in the yard. June 20th to 15, almost perfect. And when Michael A. put it away, Max Scherzer had his no-hitter against these Pirates. Wilson Ramos, Tyler Moore, Anthony and Desmond, all the guys having a great time until that.
That was so silly.
Tomorrow night against Stephen Brault of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Only thing bad about tomorrow is what we said. Night before a day game in Chicago on Friday. Brutal scheduling, but maybe Max will just take care of the Bucks and the Nats on to Chicago. Here's Liriano in a lefty-lefty matchup against Juan Soto.
I remember when Tabata leaned into that pitch. I lost my mind on the air. That was one of the only times I really have lost it on TV. I was so mad that that's the way he wanted to get on, and he was so proud of it, pointing to the umpire that it hit him. But, you know, as a former player, that's not how you break up a perfect game. You hit a bullet right past Max Scherzer.
Yeah, that's almost like bunting to break up a no-hitter, that thing.
I think it was just a reaction, and I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing, but it was just a bad way to do it. Pinch hitter, you come up, you lean into one. Max said it was not his fault. It was Max's fault. He took full blame for that. That was a bad slider, FP. As you would imagine with such a good pitcher like Max, he doesn't blame anybody else ever. But I lost it. I was mad.
And that's it for the Nats. They bat 9 men in the 8th and pick up 3 more runs. Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you by your DC Acura dealer. Come check out the brand new 2019 RDX today. Golden Triangle right across from PNC Park here in Pittsburgh, PA, and we're going to the bottom of the 8th. Patrick Corbin gets 8, 9, and 1. Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop, Elias Diaz, the catcher, and the second baseman, Kevin Newman. Right on the edge for strike 1. Two heaters.
20 of 26 first pitch strikes tonight. How about that?
Outstanding.
That's how you get to your slider.
Yeah, not a big strikeout night for Corbin. A lot like last night. Was not a big strikeout evening for Strasburg, and that's just fine. Gets you deep into ball games. Had him all locked up. So 2 fastballs and a slider, and there's number 4 for Corbin.
Just dominating. And controlling the zone. I think that's such key for pitchers and hitters. Control the strike zone. Steven Strasburg did that last night. It's not always about striking guys out. It's about controlling the zone. What does that mean? Well, working ahead, number 1, but also throwing pitches that look like strikes that might not end up in the zone. That strike zone's mine. I'm going to control it all night long.
Yeah, first pitch fastball there. Turner takes care of Diaz. 2 down.
And same thing as a hitter. I'm going up there. I'm looking in a zone. If it's not there, I'm taking it. I'm controlling the zone when I'm up to bat. You're not controlling me. And that's where you get the good battles going. But I think if a hitter does that consistently throughout the year, his walks are going to be up, his on-base percentage is going to be up, and his batting average is going to be up. Control the zone.
Fourth at bat for Kevin Newman. Line drive to left, grounder to short, and another for a force play. So 2 of Patrick Corbin's 11 outs on the ground tonight. And look at that, he's still at 89 pitches. Two sounds, and that was the ball hitting the ground. Tempted him with an 0-2 pitch. Too close to take that one. Cabrera to his left. 8 innings for Patrick Corbin. Will he come out for the 9th? He might be able to do something for the 2nd time this year.
Nothing Nats. Number 100 ties a career high. He's going to break that. Patrick Corbin, amazing here tonight. Trey Turner, 28-game on-base streak. So the Nats doing what they're supposed to do, taking care of business here in Pittsburgh.
Here they come, Cabrera, Adams, and Robles. 5, 6, and 7 in the 9th. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Visit MBUSA.com or your local dealer today. As Jubal 1 for 4 with the big breathing room blow of that 6-run 3rd inning, his 3-run homer. Rendon really the big blow, the 2-run single that took a 1-0 game and tripled it.
What a night for Patrick Corbin. I was talking to, I think he said he was good, and then Davey said, hey, let's live to fight another battle. We got some big games coming up. It's 9-0. I know you want the shutout, but you're good. I mean, that was just total dominance. So I was talking to the Pirates bench coach, Dave Joust, the other day, and he was saying that Jose Quintana is one of the best lefties they faced this year. Hyun-Jin Ryu, he thought Quintana right now is pitching better than Ryu for the Cubs. And I said, well, wait till you see our guy in game 3 of this. He's locked in right now, too. They had seen Patrick earlier in the season, but they hadn't seen him like this.
Liriano with his glove turns and fires. Good play to retire Cabrera.
And I think Patrick Corbin might change his opinion. I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow in batting practice.
Nats will see Quintana on Saturday at Wrigley. Joe Ross scheduled, and that's good news. Patrick Corbin threw a complete game against the Marlins on May 25th, a 5-0 win. No runs on just 4 hits. In his career, he's thrown 5 complete games, 2 shutouts, but will not add to that total with this lopsided score tonight. Tanner Rainey will get the call. 3 hits and 2 walks all night long, 4 strikeouts. Double play ball in the 6th. And a total of 13 ground ball outs for Patrick Corbin tonight. Jammed. Adams pops it up. And Liriano will make the grab.
Oh, a lot of white showing there.
That's why pitchers don't catch pop-ups as a rule.
That almost popped out. He did use 2 hands, though, but watch the ball.
It's a really, that's a really small glove.
All right, Victor's going to check in right here.
Walked his last time, ended up scoring a run, chasing Adams home on the Gomes double. So Patrick Corbin about to be 10-5. That was just really great old school pitching tonight. Soft contact, challenging guys. Sort of changing his game plan a bit in the middle of the game.
His game plan changed with 6-0.
Yeah, more fastballs to get ahead.
A 6-run 3rd will relax you. Then you can be a little more free and easy with your stuff. You know that, one mistake. Steven Strasburg had to pitch last night where 1 mistake and I'm done. It was 1-0 the whole game. Patrick Corbin had a nice cushion, the 6-run 3rd. So now you have a big ballpark, free and easy. I'm pitching against a team that's struggling. All of a sudden the slider that it took him a couple innings to get a feel for was there. Fastball, first pitch, strike, get to the slider. Just a well executed evening tonight. But a 6-run 3rd will help you every time. Some run support.
This one twisting away from Reyes and into the seats.
I also think, just a side note, that if you're a pitcher pitching in a contract year and you're pitching for the big contract, you know, a 3-hit complete game shutout looks great on your resume. But when you have the contract already and you're set for a while, like Patrick Corbin is, you know, probably wants the shutout just from a pride standpoint, a hard work standpoint. But, you know, they're playing for bigger and better things. So 9-0. No need to fire any more bullets. Did he get hit?
No signal from Cedarstrom. Ball 4, and Robles is aboard for the second straight time.
Yan Gomes might be the sneaky MVP of this game.
2-run double last time. Double in the 4th. Walked in the 3rd, and that led to a good inning. He was the leadoff man in that 6-run 3rd. Adrian Sanchez, if it gets to the pitcher spot. I don't know what's up with the ball boy, but every time he comes out, the crowd goes nuts.
He's having a good night. Did we get the ball boy that looks like Anthony Rendon in Chicago? These guys are hanging tough.
Yep, someday when the Nats battle the Pirates, those two will be facing each other.
Kid on the left's a stud. Clutch, gets a lot of hits late in games. I've heard.
Adrian Sanchez will get an AB here. 2-on, 2 out. Sanchez 0 for 1 in the series. That's Ray Searage. Well, the Nats not getting a ton of help tonight. Braves 5, Marlins nothing, late innings. Cleveland at the Mets, they're tied as it's getting late. And the Phillies now have erased an early 2-0 deficit at Fenway. They're ahead of the Red Sox 4-2. And Boston has had a very mediocre season coming off of their World Championship year. Adrian Sanchez, who knows more about the geography of the state of Pennsylvania more than any other Nat, gets an AB here. He has been up and down and sideways from Harrisburg this year. He'll rip it up the middle, and that's a base hit. And then checking in at third and seeing the ball just rolling into left center field, Victor Robles will come in and score. That'll buy an RBI for Adrian Sanchez in a 10-0 game.
Good for Adrian. Base hit up the middle. We got a double switch coming. Nicely done. Victor wasn't sure if he should score or not, but an RBI is an RBI. And
Glenn Hurdle trying to keep this a 10-run game. Turner next for the Nats. And Jose is the latest to give it a try.
I'm going out on a limb, Carp, and saying that the Nats have faced more position players than any team in baseball this year. Maybe the Yankees.
Yeah. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run on his log this year.
Oh, that was 90.
90. Wow.
Wait a minute now. This is like Aaron Altair when he pitched.
That ball is laced by Trey Turner. Gomes from third scoring. 11-0 now. And Trey Turner, that gives him a 2 for 6 night in RBI number 42.
Came in 89, went out 101.
Colin Moran at third base. And he goes into the pitcher's spot, which was the number 7 hole for the Pirates. And here's Adam Eaton. Adam 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4 with a walk, RBI double.
What would you rather have, mercy rule or position players pitching?
Position players pitching.
Fair.
Next year, ball clubs will be able to have a 26th player throughout the season, so that may have something to do with stopping the position players pitching. But I mean, there's always going to be some blowout games during the regular season, and managers have to do what's best for their bullpens. I don't blame them at all for doing it. I don't know about the whole mercy rule thing.
It's interesting to even think about.
Yeah.
Mess with the record books, I feel like.
Adam Eaton to left. And so Turner gets a hit, but Osuna retires. Eaton, 3 outs to get for the Nats.
This fastball, the slider in there, and then bouncing it late. So not a big strikeout game, but just aggressive in the strike zone. He had a pretty good night at the plate, too. A double in the gap.
Tanner Rainey, 36th appearance for the Nats. Time for him to really be on the attack. The Nats are up by double digits. Get this thing over with. And then everybody gets ready for Max Scherzer tomorrow night. He'll have a few changes behind him. Anthony Rendon off his feet the rest of the night. Sanchez stays in to play second. That'll move Asdrubal Cabrera over to third base. And here's Brian Reynolds, 1 for 3 tonight. Slider down and in. Tanner got an inning in the 9th in the blowout win Monday. 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He did face Reynolds and walked him. Hard hit. Sanchez, no chance to get to it. So Brian Reynolds in the series, 2 hits tonight, and he's 3 for 10 with a walk. Next up is Marte. Adam Eaton just drifting with it. Next up is Josh Bell. So the Nats about to go 12 over 500 again. That would match their season high. Max Scherzer, Steven Brault tomorrow night. And I think it'll be very important for the Nats to get that 3 out of 4 here before heading on to Wrigley. Cubs, one of the best teams in the league at home. The road has been their Achilles heel this year, but Chicago's 42-19 at Wrigley Field. And the only team better than that, the Dodgers at their yard, 49-16.
The Nats will be coming in hot, though.
That they will. Right from the runway to the ballpark, huh?
Yeah.
Be a night landing, and then hopefully some big-time highlights. So the Nats up on the Cubs in the wild card race, of course. Cubs ahead at home tonight against the Giants, 7-4.
Ballboy just got the foul ball, and that's what you heard in the background.
They love him. Fastball, that thing is ripped. That'll be an extra base hit, 71 for Josh Bell on his 37th double, and the Nats will not get the shutout tonight. It's by far the best swing Josh Bell has had in this series.
Yeah, that was loud.
Next up is the pitcher now, Jose Osuna. 0 for 3 with the bat, robbed by Soto back in the 4th over the left field wall. That's a good looking slider. So into the 10 o'clock hour we go here.
$100.
Over to the left side as Drupal's going to cut it off. 2 down. Just want to say thanks to everybody who's been in touch online tonight to wish Debbie, my wife, and myself good wishes on her surgery Friday. Thank you, Nats fans. You are awesome. And now, FP, the rest of the road trip's going to be up to you and Jags, so don't mess it up.
Well, that's not important compared to what you're going through, so good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be thinking about you and Mrs. C.
We'll let you know Friday morning how things are turning out.
Appreciate that.
And for those of you who missed our promo of tomorrow night's name, my wife Debbie's having surgery on Friday morning. I'll be with her until sometime next week, and we'll see you then. Debbie is having a tumor that the doctors believe is non-malignant, removed from her lower leg. And she's in great spirits and ready to get this thing done. Trey Turner trying to get it done. 2 minutes after 10, and the Nats have clinched at least a split in the series, but they don't want to be content with that. They want to beat the Pirates tomorrow night and take 3 out of 4 here before it's on to Wrigley Field. So for FP and for Alex, Bob Carpenter, 11-1 the Nats, 6:30, Nats Extra pregame tomorrow night, and then Max Scherzer against the Buccos. This has been a presentation of Massive. Nats Extra, Dan and Bo straight ahead, and from Pittsburgh, the Nats win big. See you later.